I do filter my photos, and I do make my nose a little bit smaller. But that's my own insecurity because I've always had that insecurity since I dated my ex. But that's always been like an insecurity up until I dated him, and it was pointed out to me. I never
By
thought,
who?
By his mother.
Isn't that crazy, guys?
That's messed up.
Yes.
Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way.
Hi, welcome to another episode of the Real and Relatable podcast. I'm Ma.
My name is Cash.
I'm LC. This is Dolce Vita.
I'm MB.
And today, my drink of choice is actually a bone broth that we drank. It's actually the same one that we drank for the mukbang episode. But
Did you do something different?
yes,
though? Yeah.
I did. I did make a little bit of a change to it. So try it and let me know what you guys think.
Okay, there's more flavor. It's a little salty.
Yes.
So it's the same bone broth. I just put 2 packets of it in it instead of the one.
Okay.
And
Packets of what?
More
Packets of the bone
concentrated.
broth?
It's more
Yes,
concentrated.
yeah,
Oh.
and I also added salt to it.
Okay,
A little bit too much salt.
It's pretty salty.
Okay, don't put as much salt as I did. Okay, sorry. I'll link it below just so that in case you want to try it and you can add salt to it, it's still good. Before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you know when our episodes are dropping. But for this episode, I sent you guys that viral TikTok that was kind of going around. It was a woman talking about in 2024, we should drop face filters because to her, she felt like it's being fake. You're putting on this image as if that's what you look like when you really don't look like that. And so she got a lot of hate on TikTok about it, saying, why are you telling people to drop face filters in 2024 when you literally are a walking filter? I don't know if it's true, but there's people who are like, oh, you got lip fillers, you got full face of makeup.
She did admit,
she did
admit to
Yeah.
having fillers a few years ago. And
Okay.
I still have some left.
Yeah. And she has like full face of makeup on. She has a tan on, whatever else she got on. Everyone's like, how dare you go around and say, don't use filters when you basically have a permanent filter on? What do you guys think about that? What was said about her?
Number one, I was not offended by what she said because her words were basically like, I don't know why anybody wants to filter and make themselves look like an alien, and I don't know why I did that as well. And so my perspective was that she was talking about like extreme filtering to the point where you no longer really look like yourself in real life. And so if somebody met you in real life, you would look different than the photo filter. So if I look at it from that perspective, I don't see anything wrong with what she's saying. But a lot of people did drag her because the way she looks naturally physically is not how she looked naturally before. She has done beauty
not what she was born
enhancements,
with.
to her own face, and even like the orange tan and full makeup, the overlining of the lip and the injections and things like that. So people are pissed that she's saying that, and they're alluding to the fact that she has money to do all these things physically in real life to change how she looks. So she has no right to tell people not to filter. I get that. I don't think she's talking about like minimal filtering. I think she's talking about more extreme filtering.
No, she just said we should drop filters in 2024. She didn't say anything
Right.
about extreme filters, minimal filters. She just said in 2024, let's just embrace who we are. Let's just drop these filters. I don't know why we're putting on these filters. Just basically be proud of who you are.
Yeah, but the reason why people are dragging her, if that's the message that she's trying to send, is like be proud of who you are. Well, clearly you weren't secure with how you look. That's why you're getting all these things done. Yeah. So it's very rich of you to be telling people like drop the filters when you've gotten all this work done on you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I don't care either ways. Like for me, it doesn't really affect me if people want to put filters on or not.
Honestly, that's how I feel. I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's like if you wanna live the filter life and look different online versus in person, do your thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
matter.
don't agree with that if it's so extreme to the point where I cannot recognize you.
But look, the thing is though, who the hell really catfishes? People do catfish.
People do catfish.
I mean, hello. I know there's a whole show on it. I get that. But the thing is, if that's them, they don't have anything better to do, and that's their life and their entertainment. Then who am I to police them?
No, that's wrong.
It is wrong, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell them how to live their lives. It's sad, but you know what I mean.
No, the thing is, it's different.
I disagree.
It's different with girls, because for me, guys typically don't filter. Girls are the ones that filter. So another girl filtering herself doesn't affect me, because I'm not getting catfished.
Okay.
Guys don't filter, so I don't have anything to worry about. But a girl filtering, it doesn't affect me.
But it doesn't affect you, but it affects your brothers, your friends. I don't want my brother going on a date and then some girl showing up not looking like her. Like, that's deceitful, you know? So for me, if it's so extreme, like, I don't care. Like, we all filter. Like, I filter. You know, I mean, like, I'm learning to filter, right? You know?
No, she doesn't filter.
You know, so we all do a little bit of it, right? To kind of like
Just
refine a little bit. Totally fine. I don't care. But there are, and the majority of people are doing just the tiny filtering, right?
Yes.
But there are a small percentage of people who are doing the most. Like the girl on Paradise. What is that show? The Korean dating show.
Island?
The Korean dating show.
Island. Single Inferno.
Singles Inferno.
Filtering.
The one girl.
Which one?
Oh my Lord.
Minna?
Minja?
Oh, is she the one that is in love with that buff short guy?
Yes, that one.
Oh,
if you
she looks different in certain photos. She looks different.
In her,
her IG, she looks
completely
different.
different. Girl looks like a damn alien. Like what this girl was talking about IG.
Yeah.
That is something that I am completely against. I don't care if you're doing it for your own confidence or entertainment or whatever. That's not cool. Because I don't want that to affect anyone else's life.
Yeah.
You've heard of catfish story where people's lives have been fogged because of catfishes. So I don't agree with that. Little bits here and there, I don't care.
I understand what you're saying because it's true. It's important to call things out because it indirectly affects us.
Yeah.
Whether it's our siblings or whatever. And even beauty standards, it affects us, right? If everybody is doing something and we don't agree with it and we don't speak up, it does affect us because it's going to influence our realm, the people around us, right? Yeah. I understand that. And I'm not saying that I don't disagree with that. I do disagree with that. However, what I'm saying, when I say that, I agree. But when I say that I don't care, that's me disengaging because I'm not going to sit here and stress the F out of it. You know what I mean? And because I can only control myself. People were kind of upset too because they're like, well, the thing is that you have money to make yourself look like a quote unquote permanent filter.
Yeah.
Whereas people who don't have money are only going to use filter because they don't have money to make themselves look permanently like the way they want to look, right? So how dare you call out?
I don't.
How dare you call out the people?
I get that.
How dare you call out the people? No.
I don't get it.
No, because what Ma's saying is, it's kind of like, you know, Kim Kardashians and whatever. What's the other sister? The little sister. Kylie. Yeah, it's kind of like you saw that meme where there's the young Kylie and then there's the older Kylie.
If you're not ugly,
and if you're not ugly, you're just
broke.
You're just broke, right? It's like if you're not broke, then you can also look like that, right? So what Ma's saying is sometimes people can't afford to fix themselves up in real life to match what they would want to look like in the filters. It's must be nice. Right, must be nice. So if they choose to filter, then why judge them? So I can understand that argument. I'm not like I hear
one
you.
girl stitched it.
I hear you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't understand the argument of, well, I don't have money to physically filter myself in real life. So I'm just going to filter in my photos so that the photos look completely different. But when you see me, I look different. Like, I don't understand that mindset at all.
It kind of goes back to that story that I told you. So there, back in the day, there was this girl. She was a friend of my ex's. She kind of filtered her photo, but she took her photos at a very high angle, so you only really saw her face, right? And so in those photos, she looked really thin, and she like or whatever, right? So then when I met her for the first time, me myself was really, really shocked because I was expecting a slimmer girl, and she was actually much bigger than I expected her to be. And I was very shocked. And so I asked my friend, why does she do that to her photos? When people see her in person, aren't they going to be like, WTF? Like,
yeah,
that's not,
like, you're deceiving.
Yeah, and
you're trying to deceive.
And he said that, in her mind, her personality wins them over, so that when they do meet, they will still be quote unquote in love with her because of her personality.
No. There's a level of deception.
My troll is gonna come out.
No,
because
there's deception there.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, sometimes people who use, heavy filters, do really believe that. They believe that.
What if they believe they look like that?
You're not that way because you're doing the tips and tricks to adjust your body. You're not that way.
I think it's a delusion of, I wish I looked this way.
So yeah, I wish.
But I wish I looked this way, so therefore I am this way. There is that delusion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can't put my mind frame in that.
I think if therefore I am,
the issue is delusion.
Like it's not.
Get yourself to a gym and work out. Like, figure out how to use makeup, and honestly, these are all things that I had to figure out myself. Okay. Yeah. Every one of us had to figure those things out. So you have to do the due diligence in your life to put you in a position of what you want, how you want to look like, how you want people to treat you, the kind of guys that you want to attract. You have to work hard at those things. It doesn't just magically happen.
Yeah, so I have two questions. So first question is, have you guys personally used filters yourself?
Yeah,
I said.
Yeah. But to
I'm
what
learning.
extent have you used filters?
To me, I do more like a skin smoothing.
Okay.
Skin smoothing, skin brightening.
Yeah, that would be the extent.
I use a Singaporean app that my friend from the UK introduced me to. It's called Beauty Cam. I love it. But sometimes I'm like, it looks like me. Sometimes I'm like, no, it does not look like me.
Yeah.
So.
I will say, not hating on China or anything, but China has like some of the best filtering app, because there's been a lot of stories about them catfishing people, right, or making money off of them.
Girl,
but
it's scary.
But it's not just photos. Videos.
Yeah, now it's
filter
videos.
They can filter videos where they can make your waist smaller, your bigger.
No, okay, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Just like how if you go to China and they scan your face and they can find you on any street, it's scary. It's like beyond government privacy, like all that stuff.
Well, I'm sure they do that in the U.S. too. They just don't let us know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's always like a big debate, right? Guys are always like, "Oh, but you have makeup on. That's filter." Is it though?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
In a form, it could be a way of deception too. People can make.
Take this off. Do I look the
You
same?
all
No.
have seen the videos of Chinese people who they're beautiful and they wipe it off and then they're like a man.
Okay, that's
They're so
okay.
these makeup artists are so
extreme.
good.
That's extreme.
And there's white boys and black boys, American, who react to it. Have you seen those? It's pretty funny.
No.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to
Facebook?
find it.
Yeah,
I have
react
seen
to
those. Have you guys seen those videos?
I
of like
have.
a plain
Yes.
girl, and they put
do
the
the
eye lens thing contacts in, they do all the makeup, and they look so
They look very
different.
it's crazy.
They like tape their eyes.
So how do you
up.
feel about that? Because you're
That's crazy.
Well, that's more extreme.
But,
like,
but
that's
it is
extreme.
extreme. But Elsie, what do you think about that? Because you're
That's another-
you're against crazy filters. So are you against crazy makeup?
I am against crazy makeup. That should only be reserved for theater.
Theater and drag queens?
Yes. It should not be. You're not.
Just so you know, you said theater really weird.
What did I say? Oh yeah, I did say theater. Theater.
Yeah, you just
No, I'm trying to pronounce it correctly now. Theater.
Theater.
Theaters.
theater.
Theaters.
Okay, guys.
Where is this
Sorry.
going?
Yeah, okay, anyways.
Okay.
Okay, let's go get back on this. Makeup. Okay. So I will say, yes, there are very extreme makeup like that, but
It's not okay.
those kind of extreme makeup, it only looks good in front of cameras, right? If you go down the rabbit hole of these makeup girls who do extreme like that, they show you what they actually look like in person versus on camera and photos.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The makeup looks crazy. You would never do that makeup in general, right? But they do it for the photos, for the videos, right? But they would never do it as like a day to day. But with that said, before I started embracing more of like a natural look, I did do more drastic makeup look in general. And I will say, yeah, I mean, some makeup looks, I do look different. I didn't think of it as like a filter. Like I wasn't trying to be someone else.
Like deceive.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't trying to like deceive anybody. It was just, I was just experimenting with makeup, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just feel like, yeah, I guess makeup can be like a filter, but sometimes it's art, you know? Because a part of me does always feel like makeup is an art.
Do you think that filter can be an art?
No.
Yeah.
No. Filter is like covering an insecurity, right? Because we filter our photos because we want smoother skin. That's an insecurity. We don't like the, you know, the crow's feet or the wrinkles or the textures.
Yeah.
That's an insecurity that you're
So
trying
makeup
to
is
cover up.
not covering insecurity.
Well, makeup is.
It can be,
but it's also an art because some people use makeup as a way to express like different looks. Yeah. So it's a little bit of both when it comes to
well,
makeup.
because like if you think about it, there's makeup artists.
Yeah.
And it's a source of creativity for them, and they. You know, and the really good ones. I mean, you can do wedding makeup to Broadway theater. Oh, I said it right that time. Theater makeup.
Okay.
You know,
Theater.
Yeah.
Theater.
You know, I mean that is art. That's considered art. Yeah.
So does it depend on intention then? If someone is trying to do it for artistic reasons versus filter, obviously it's just for vain reasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think everybody filters for a vain reason? Yeah, that's true.
Yes, it's like vanity or
You
insecurity.
just said
Both.
it's not for art though.
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean,
It's not for art.
when I filter my photos,
Is it
I
for
just
art?
I just hope that's what I look like.
Wish, not hope.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't look like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just wish.
Yeah. I mean, if I had the money, I probably would make myself look like that. Not that I'm like drastically changing my look or anything like that. It's like smooth skin.
Yeah, I think as long as it's subtle, it's okay. But overall, I feel like I don't care either ways because I'm not really affected by someone filtering. So I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care either. Like basic filter is fine, but if it gets too extreme, then that's gonna bring out the troll in me.
I was just gonna say, I filter my photos.
Yeah,
Not like
you
I'm
know
like
what?
gonna call myself out or anything like that.
My family has been like, can your friends stop filtering?
Which we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have. So just for clarity, any of the photos that we post on our podcast page is filter only skin. Our skin is only the only thing that's smooth out. I don't filter anything else because I don't want to alter anything else.
Yeah.
Because the reality is you're going to see us on film anyways. There's no way to filter this.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, even like television, there is like a soft focus. That is like a soft filter too. So at minimum, the only thing we're doing is to be high production quality, and that's it, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, myself, if you watch my own page, I do filter my photos, and I do make my nose a little bit smaller. But that's my own insecurity, because I've always had that insecurity since when? Since I dated my ex. But that's always been like an insecurity up until I dated him, and it was pointed out to me. I never
By who?
By his mother.
Isn't that crazy, guys?
That's messed up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Like, there's nothing wrong with her
that's-
nose, but
That's
she's
messed
like
up.
so insecure
But
about
for
it
a
now.
mother to be like, hey, you know what? You're not good enough for my son.
because of your
And by
Your
the way,
nose.
your nose is too big. That's messed up.
Yeah.
well,
so-
there was a lot of things, right? Because she was like, "Oh, you're too dark. You're
You need to fix your teeth. Your nose is too big.
yeah. You gotta fix your teeth. Your nose is not attractive."
That's really sad.
up.
I just don't feel like any mother should say that to
Yeah.
someone else's child.
Well, it's not like she
Yeah.
said it to me directly, but it was like
It
She said it to her
doesn't
son,
matter.
and then he told you.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, and it was just like up before that time, I never thought anything was wrong with me.
Yeah.
I never had any type of insecurity
Right.
Yeah.
about me, because it's not like up until that point, it's not like I ever had any problems attracting the
Right,
opposite
yeah.
sex. I didn't,
Yeah.
and so I never thought anything was wrong with me until it was pointed out to me. And then now I feel like I have all of these insecurities about these things. It's like now I feel like I'm too dark, so I like avoid the sun like plague. And
That's
and
sad.
It's so
and I
crazy.
got Invisalign because I felt like my teeth
And
was crooked.
braces.
Yeah, and I got braces to realign my teeth. And the only reason why I haven't jumped the gun on getting a nose job is because I'm deathly afraid that it's gonna come out wrong. So that's the only reason why I haven't gotten it. And I've talked to guys like in between, breaking up with that guy and now, and those guys have always said, "You're crazy. Like, I don't think anything's wrong with your nose. Like, I literally would tell you if something was wrong with your nose, because I've had someone who was like, if something was wrong with your nose, I would tell you, because I've told my ex that she should get a nose job."
Wow.
He goes, but for you, no, I don't think you should,
But there was nothing wrong with you. There was
Yeah.
nothing wrong with the other.
Yeah.
because she has a certain expectation for who he should date, like she should be pale, she should have a high nose bridge, she should look a certain
She's
way.
delusional.
Yeah.
And so it was projected on me, and so then I kind of carried that with me, even up until now. Like it's really hard for me to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Like even as much as I want to try to embrace it, it's really hard for me to try to embrace it when I've gone through like 15 years of like, oh, something's wrong about the way you look, even though I've had other people who be like, dude, if something was wrong with you, I would tell you. And it's just, and I think that's kind of why people also filter, is like, maybe someone said something was weird about the way they looked, so then they started filtering. Or maybe they felt like they need to fit like the girl from Singles Inferno. Like maybe she felt like she need to fit into Korean society and have the small face with a V shape, chin, and like and it's like she just kind of felt like she has to fit into this society of what is considered beautiful, and I think that's kind of why people filter,
It's really sad, and we were talking about this. There's like this video of like some people went to a classroom with kids, like little kids, and asked them like what they would change about their bodies, and they wouldn't change anything except, oh, I would like a tail.
Yeah.
Or
some of them was like, I want to be a mermaid. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like, we don't have these insecurities until somebody mean says something,
It's from someone.
Yeah. And it's so sad because I think everybody like looks beautiful the way they are.
Yeah.
I
know I talked a little bit about my insecurity, but do you guys have any of your own insecurities?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like for me, I've always kind of struggled with my skin for the longest time, because I was very, I I always had issue with breakouts and acne. So that's something that I still constantly struggle with. So that is my biggest insecurity.
What about you, Tess?
I have a lot of insecurities. I think that, if anything, I think a lot of my insecurity is my hair, because I have really thin hair. And so, like I always joke when I tie my hair in a ponytail, it's probably less than a little girl's. So skinny,
Yeah.
But because it's so thin, it's easy to fluff up, and it's not that bad. But yeah, that's probably one thing I'm insecure about.
Yeah. Well, I kind of mentioned mine. Like lately, it's been melasma. But I've mentioned before, growing up as a tomboy and like an athlete, doing all this stuff, I wasn't insecure ever about anything in my body. It's like I always like felt strong, and I always felt like powerful because I was active,
Yeah.
And so I never kind of fell into that like kind of feminine thing with the insecurities. I didn't know how to use makeup on for ever till like in my 30s. And things like that. But now definitely, like I just mentioned, the melasma, the skin discoloration, and just like the pores and the aging of the skin. I feel like I don't mind growing old, but it's just like, you don't look as tight and smooth as you used to.
Yeah. As women, because our looks is our currency, I think there's a lot of pressure into looking good, being young, right? And being beautiful. I kind of wish like, my parents would have been a little bit more like, you know what, you are beautiful just the way you are, and I mean, they never said I was ugly, but they never said I was beautiful, right? So it was just kind of like, you are who you are, and I wish they would have told me that I was beautiful growing up, because I think every girl just needs to be told that they're beautiful growing up, because and let that ingrain and sit with them as they're growing, because then if somebody else tells them that, oh, something's wrong with you, or like then you're like, no, because my parents have told me I'm beautiful,
something else instilled in me.
I think that if you continue to just tell your daughter that she's beautiful and just the way she is, she's gonna grow up thinking, I'm beautiful. Who cares what you say about me?
Don't say it all the time, because you don't want her.
Right. You don't want to be her
vain. Yeah. But like growing up, like my family members, all my aunts and uncles, they would always say that I was pretty and beautiful, and I hated that, because I didn't want to be beautiful. I didn't want to be known as the pretty girl. I wanted to be. I knew I was like, but I'm smart, so I don't want to be pretty, And I always fought against that. But I guess I appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
It gives me confidence.
Yes, because I feel like out of us, all of us, you're probably like the most confident.
Yeah.
But that's probably because growing up, people said you were beautiful.
And you know what? My parents didn't say it. My immediate family didn't say it, but my aunts and uncles, like, further away.
Yeah.
So I knew there was truth to it, but, I was just always like, what the hell? That's not what I want to be known for.
Yeah.
But before I went to study abroad in Italy, my dad sat me down and he said, I just want to have a conversation with you. You're going to be far away. And so I want to let you know that you are a very pretty girl. And guys are going to try to take advantage of that. And so I just want you to be aware of that, and know and be careful with men, and choose good men, because people are going to take advantage of you for your beauty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the end of the conversation, right? Never before, never after. I was
20?
20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never before, never after has he ever talked about my looks. But that at that moment, I realized, oh, I am pretty and I am worthy and I have something. So I get what you're saying. Like that kind of like brought the confidence up even more. You know, even though I hated my family saying that, for my father to finally say it, I was like, oh, there's some kind of meaning to it.
Yeah. I think that to even hear it and to hate it is a privilege because a lot of people don't hear it. Period. You know. But I do want to mention, you know, earlier you said you when you were saying all this stuff, you said because as girls or women, our looks is our currency.
Yeah.
I do just want to define that, if I may. You're not trying to say that we think our look is our
No.
Society says. Society says you're worth more if you are more beautiful.
Women's looks and their lifeline of being able to do all that stuff. We talked about it in the previous episode. Please watch it. But we're not saying that that's what we think. We're saying that's what society says. So that's why she mentioned it.
In fact, my ex said that to me. My ex was like, you're not getting younger and you're going to lose value over time. Your beauty is going to fade and you're going to be worth nothing. So
who the hell was what?
You're not.
Okay,
well, it was pretty much like you're gonna be worth nothing. Your value is gonna be nothing.
Depreciating value.
You're depreciating value. So you should suck it up, and we should get married and have. We should get married and have a child now, while your value is still high.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what?
To benefit him.
Yeah. And I was like, wow.
Hell
no.
You know what?
My value is not in my looks.
We grow up with a lot of pressure as women to just, in general, be beautiful. And just know that you are beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. And never forget that. So I'm going to wrap it up here now. But thank you so much for watching. You know, please like, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you guys think of this episode, and let us know what you guys want to hear us talk about in the upcoming episodes as well. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. See you in our next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.